So I want you to look at this. I want you to see, where are you in your relationship? Where are you right now? Is it all about you? Are you tit for tat and doing a little bit, I'll give you this if you give me that? Are you like, I'll meet your needs because I love you? Or are you really in an unconditional love? Or are you here? It's like, look, you've really hurt me, but I love you, and I'm not leaving. Where are you in the relationship, in a past relationship? Where were you here? Where are you now about a past relationship? Where could you move to in your relationship now, or a past relationship? If you've had a past relationship, let's say you're married now, you've had a past relationship that was bad, that you got very hurt in, and maybe you're kind of up here with it. You're like, yeah, in kind of this area. What would happen in your life if you took that relationship and moved it down to here? You don't have to call the person. You don't have to do anything. It's about you and how really this is about your transformation. It's not about calling the person and saying, I just moved you down to level 4. Just want you to know. Feeling pretty good about it. So think about that. Okay. Intimacy. Do you think relationships can stay fun and hot and sexy, and the intimacy can stay there? Yeah. Or do you think it goes away?
It can stay.
Yeah, it can stay.
Over and over.
Yeah, it can.
Deeper.
And deeper. Yeah, it is possible.
When the
It is
stars
possible.
align.
Not if you go outside though.
Right, not if you go outside. So there's a story, you know, and it's true. What'd you say? What?
There's some eye rolling going on there.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it. No. It's, you know, and we say that it's true, but then again, it's coming from, you know, people who have done it, and it's not, you know, it's interesting because everything we've been talking about tonight affects intimacy, all of it. And who wants to have sex with somebody you're mad at? I mean, some people might, but generally, I mean, but for the most part, you know, you're angry, you're upset, or that person's hurting you, they're not meeting your needs, you're upset at them, they're not being nice to you, or something is not right in the relationship. Who wants to be intimate with that, right? So that is occurring in many relationships now. So obviously, there's things that you need to look at around meeting each other's needs first, handling the levels of love, everything we've talked about up to this point, and then the intimacy is going to be created it's going to be easier to create the intimacy at that time. I want to talk about something, though, that actually creates intimacy, and that is polarity.
That is what?
Polarity. So let's talk about polarity for just a moment. This is real important. What is polarity? Does anybody have an idea?
Two opposites?
Yeah. Okay, now this is cool. This is real cool. I loved it when I learned this because I thought, of course, oh my gosh, of course, of course, of course. So, in a relationship, for there to be a sexual attraction or any kind of like, you know, that chemistry, there has to be two opposing forces. You know, I mean, it's almost like you want someone who's different than you. There has to be a masculine and a feminine. So there's polarity, masculine and feminine, right? Masculine, now, it's okay it doesn't matter who's who. Like, for instance, in a relationship with a man and a woman, many times a man will have a more feminine role and a woman will have a more masculine role, and that's fine as long as somebody gets one and somebody gets the other. As long as there's polarity, it doesn't matter. Okay, just to give you an example, look at this. Did you see this? The richer sex, have you seen that? Okay, so apparently, women are becoming the breadwinners, and this is a huge trend that's taking over. Men love it. Everything works great. It's not a problem. I mean, you know, of course, you know, they're like, but then it's working out, like it actually works. So someone, to have this polarity exist, okay, someone has to be masculine, someone has to be feminine. Now, it is not bad for a guy to have feminine qualities. I mean, I I'm not saying that they're gay or they've got this femininity about them, but many times these are about roles. That's all it is. So now, what happens is polarity will go away when, let's say, in a relationship, there's two people trying to play the masculine role. Example, in my marriage, I was dominating and controlling, right? Well, my husband was a man, and he was also controlling and, you know, in charge, and he wanted to be the man, right? So we had no polarity at all. Because I'm over here wanting to be the masculine, and he's over there wanting to be the masculine, and it was like, ooh, like there was no, the polarity did not exist. Somebody has to be the other way. See, if I had known that, I would have done things a little bit differently in the marriage to create the polarity. And it's very interesting. So you look at yourself in relationships and say, okay, wait a minute, my past relationship and my current relationship, is there a very clear masculine and feminine role, and does it work? Or do we have two people that are playing that masculine role, or two people that are playing in the feminine arena? So with intimacy and polarity, and the other problem is too is women, you know, we are getting to a place where women are stronger, we're taking charge, we're making decisions, we're taking control, we got the house handled, we got everything handled, we're used to being on our own. I mean, one of the biggest reasons why the divorce rate is so low, is lower now, is because people aren't getting married. Women are staying single longer. And so we're used to being on our own, and we're strong, and we're capable, and independent. So now we get together with a guy, and now we still act that way. That's who we are, right? Well, what happens to a man is they get confused. So they're like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be the man, I'm supposed to do all these things, now she's doing this, and they just don't know what to do. So sometimes they start shrinking a little bit. And they're like, okay, well, since I don't know, I'm just going to kind of let her do her thing. But then she gets mad, because see, what she really does want is she wants a man to be strong, really. We're strong, and we're, I guess dominant, I guess is a word, or, you know, we have all of this, but at the same time, we want our man to be strong. So guess what we do to you? We test the living daylights out of you. So we'll scream at you and be like, there's a very good chance that we'll talk really bad to you too, and say mean things, just to see if you'll stand up to us, because we like that. We want you to, and we want you to be the man. We want you to be the man, and just take us. Take us. I'm being serious here. I know this is difficult to talk about, but it's the truth. Right, ladies?
Yes.
I mean, we don't want to be responsible for everything all the time. And be like, okay, what do you want to eat? I don't know. Okay, we'll eat here. We're going to go on vacation. We'll go whatever you want. I mean, it's like, right? So we want, even though you don't think we want you to be the man, even though you think that we want to be strong, and you're like, I'll just let her do it. We want it.
Or even though we tell them they're doing it wrong 50,000 times.
100,000, yeah. You're doing it wrong.
We still want them to go,
yes.
Too bad.
Yeah,
Come
too
on.
bad. Too bad. And that's polarity. Do you see? That's polarity. We test you. We test you. We go right up against you. And if you cower, and you're like, okay, all right, then you're weak to us. And it's like, oh, he's weak. I'm not attracted to him. Not gonna, or whatever. You know, you have this thing. That's how it works. So we want you, even though we're strong, and that's the other side of the little secret that we have. We want you to be strong. We want you to just stand up to us sometimes. And like I said, just take us. Look into our eyes and just be strong and be the man and go. And that's what, right? That's what we want. We want that. Even though, you know, remember the princesses and the prince would ride up on the horse and take us away, and we still have that, but we like that.
We don't know how to be feminine. We forgot.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, so now let's go back to feminine. Okay, so guess what men like? They like feminine. They like a woman to feel and look like a woman, right, guys? don't you? Do you like a woman to feel and look like a man? I mean, do you? You know it's funny because it's like when guys do girl stuff like wash dishes and all that, you know, it's like and vacuum. It's like, oh my God, that's so awesome, that's so wonderful. But when girls do guy stuff like play baseball or you know and lift weights and get too big, it's like ooh, it gets weird, right? So guys want women to be feminine.